ensuring that their contributions are also duly recognized. Cabinet considered and approved the establishment of the Pathways to Reintegration Foundation. The government of Zimbabwe is facilitating the establishment of the Pathways to Reintegration Foundation, a private voluntary organization to superintend in terms of the integration process. The foundation will augment the efforts by the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Services through innovative and comprehensive rehabilitation and reintegration initiatives. The foundation will partner with the private sector, local and international organizations in the development of programs that meet the needs of inmates and ex-inmates, being supported by prison officers and the community. The establishment of the foundation is being inspired by similar successful initiatives in other jurisdictions such as Nigeria, Singapore, and the United States of America and Fiji. The Pathways to Reintegration Foundation is premised on Ubuntu, a principle that encourages collaborative efforts to dismantle stigma, facilitate successful reintegration, and ultimately build a more inclusive and harmonious society for all. The foundation will have 4 cluster-based programs intended for inmates, ex-inmates, communities, and correctional officers. The program will cover the following content: primary, secondary, and tertiary education, community engagement and education, wellness, mental health and psychosocial support, job placement and entrepreneurship, digital education and e-learning, and the parole system. Under the legislative program, Cabinet considered and approved the Biological and Toxin Weapon Crimes Bill of 2025. The main objective of the bill is to prohibit the development, production, manufacture, possession, stockpiling, importation, exportation, transportation, transit, transshipment, transfer or use of certain biological agents and toxins and of biological weapons. The bill will provide for the implementation in Zimbabwe of the United Nations Convention on the Prohibition of the Development, Production and Stockpiling of Biological and Toxin Weapons and on their destruction in terms of the 10th of April 1972 and the Protocol for the Prohibition of the Use in the War of Poisonous and Other Gases of Biological Methods in terms of warfare. Under the provisions of the bill, it will be an offense for any person to encourage, assist, counsel, procure, incite, facilitate, or finance the use in any way of biological agents, toxins, or weapons. The bill further provides for the licensing of biological agents or toxins for any purpose. Any failure to comply with the conditions of the issued license will constitute an offense. Cabinet received and noted the report on the attendance at the 50th Independence Day celebrations in Maputo, Mozambique, by His Excellency the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa. His Excellency the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, attended Mozambique's 50th Independence Anniversary celebrations in Maputo, Mozambique, on the 25th of June 2025. The celebrations were held under the theme 50 Years of Independence, Consolidating National Unity, Peace and Sustainable Development. The major highlights of the celebrations were the laying of wreaths at the monument of Mozambican heroes, the lighting of the eternal flame, and the solidarity message by the guest of honor and the President of the Republic of Tanzania, Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan. The President of the Republic of Mozambique, His Excellency President Daniel Chapo, presided over the celebrations, which were also attended by delegations from the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, South Africa, Guinea-Bissau, Portugal, among others. His Excellency, the President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa's presence at the celebrations affirmed and solidified the excellent relations between the two sister republics. Cabinet received and noted the report on the 113th session of the International Labour Organization. The Minister of Public Service, Labour and Social Welfare, Honorable Ed Kamoyo, led a Zimbabwean tripartite delegation to the conference held in Geneva, Switzerland, from the 2nd of June to the 13th of June 2025, during which he ascended to the presidents of the conference. Zimbabwe was the vice president to the conference at the 112th session in 2024. The minister, as the president of the organization, presided over the opening and closing sessions, the plenary sessions on the Director General's report, the chairperson of the governing body, and the high-level forum on the Global Coalition for Social Justice. The Zimbabwe tripartite delegation also held several bilateral meetings on the sidelines of the 113th session of the conference with the following: the Director of International Labour Standards, the Director of Employment, the Director of ILO Training Center, the Director of Governance, and the Minister of Labour from Qatar, and the Minister of Labour from Uganda. Zimbabwe also signed an MOU with Malawi in the fields of labour and employment, thereby enhancing cooperation. Cabinet received and noted a report on the 8th session of the Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction. The Minister of Local Government and Public Works, Honorable Daniel Garwe, led the Zimbabwean delegation to the 8th session of the Global Platform for Disaster Risk Reduction held in Geneva, Switzerland, from the 2nd of June to the 6th of June 2025, under the theme Every Day Counts, Act for Resilience Today. The Global Platform, where participants took stock of progress, shared new knowledge and latest developments, discussed new trends in reducing disaster risk, and exchanged best practices, was attended by over 3,000 in-person participants from 164 countries, with nearly 600 participants joining virtually. The minister participated in 3 high-level ministerial round-table discussions on rebuilding resilient communities, housing reconstruction and critical infrastructure readiness, a round-table on progress of the G20 Disaster Risk Reduction Working Group under the Presidency of South Africa, and Safe Schools, now protecting every school from disaster and climate risk. The minister highlighted Zimbabwe's national human settlements policy, which came up with affordable and resilient building mechanisms to different communities in the country. The minister also underscored the importance of regional integration in dealing with transboundary hazards and on the right of every child to thrive in safe, inclusive environments. He shared Zimbabwe's 10-point plan, which guides disaster risk reduction in learning institutions. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister, for presenting today's cabinet highlights. We now move to the first round of 3 questions. We get responses from the ministers, then we move to the second round again of 3 questions, and then the ministers will respond. Over to you, colleagues.